Markstein here. I'm just going to be doing a short shiny hunting stream tonight. Got stuff to do tomorrow, so can't really go for a long time. Maybe back to hunting that darn did unsparse. Probably only going to do 2, maybe 3 sandwiches if like the first or second sandwich is really bad. Okay, I just realized that I forgot the shooter, so if you're trying to do this from memory after not doing it. Don't know about y'all, but I've had an absolutely banger weekend. Finally had one of my online shopping cards come after 2 months almost of having ordered it. I'd almost given up on it ever showing up, so I go to turn my car on for the first time in a couple of weeks, and thankfully the battery started, but I forgot one of the tires is flat. It just somehow died, I guess, while the car was being used. Suppose it could be like dry rot of the tire or something, but it had been sagging for a while, but it hadn't fully deflated. I went to put air in it yesterday and it was not taking air at all. So if I'm remembering my counts correctly, I'm pretty sure we're starting from number 21, so the next one would be 22. The 100 to done spars for flogs. Obviously there is replacement, so it's not guaranteed after 100. It's just the closer I get to 100, the more likely it should be that I have found one. Or something like that. I don't know, probability is like one of the only maths that I have trouble with. I think it's a math most people have trouble with, so. Anyway, once I get my car fixed, I should finally start being able to get a decent influx of cash going on, so I should hope to be able to start upgrading my PC, which will let me get more game variety going, because that's the biggest reason I only play like the same 3 or 4 games. Like, I have more games in my Steam library, but there's no way I can stream them and play them at the same time. I have the microphone desyncing because of power usage just from running the Switch and OBS at the same time. There's no way I could get away with running like a different game. So it should be soon-ish, at least. Maybe like a month or so. I think power supply is going to be the first thing I'm going to pick up. But yeah, I had talked with my brother about the microphone, and he agrees that it's probably a power supply issue. That it's just probably... Honestly, this power supply is a zombie. It should have died a couple of years ago. I'm surprised it didn't. It was arcing, back in like 2021. You could hear it crackling with electricity. I was sure it was on its way out back then, but it somehow stopped. Honestly, I'm surprised it's lasted as long as it has. I think most of the parts in this computer are old enough to be starting middle school. I'll try not to restart the stream tonight unless the microphone gets super desynced. I think last time I streamed, I noticed, like, as long as it's desynced, like, less than 3 times, it's not super bad. Doesn't really matter for a game like Pokemon where I'm kind of just talking into the void. My commentary is not necessarily related to what's directly going on the screen. Yeah, I think I already said that. Yeah, the stream's going to be maybe an hour, hour and a half, depending on how many sandwiches I decide to make. I'm trying to think about what I want to stream the rest of this week. I think I might finally sit back down for Dragon Quest on Tuesday. I'll use that, maybe Monster Hunter. If I get around to polishing my skills off screen, or off stream, which aren't very good. It's not like I'm a super good Monster Hunter player, but it's still fun to play. I also do plan on streaming the new Fire Emblem game on Friday, I think it's the 20th. I'll have to double check when the game comes out. If it's Friday, I'll stream it Friday, but if it's like late, like midnight Thursday, I'll stream it Thursday. So I might try to juggle like 2 longer series at the same time, with like both Dragon Quest and Fire Emblem at the same time. And I'll try not to do what I did with Pokemon, where like I get absorbed into just one of them and it consumes the rest of my content. Gonna make that challenge. I don't even really remember where I am in Monster Hunter. I started it up the other day. I think like I've got some quests to do. I think I'm on like Master. I know I just emailed Xando, but I don't remember what I was doing. Like I was farming its armor or something. It's been a while since I played it, but just from what I remember playing, I do remember enjoying it at least more than I did Iceborne. Iceborne was frustrating, and not in a really good way. I think the Clutch Claw was really obnoxious. That, and I'm not a fan of heavily handled Elatreon. Oh. Easy thing. trying to remember if I've cut any Shinies off stream since the last time I played. I don't think that I have. I think most of this last week I've been playing 3 houses off stream. Just because I decided I would finally get around to finishing the Verdant Wind route since the new game is coming out on Friday or Thursday. Yeah, that was 1 in about 7 minutes, which isn't that bad. If I can find a couple more, it'll be pretty good. I was kind of disappointed when I did this last week. I only found like 4 Shinies in about 5 cents. Yeah, I noticed there's a little bit of a lag spike. All is almost the same pattern it used to do with my Xbox controller. But there's another one. Might have to dig through the settings. It might be turning it off and on. Because that's what it used to do with my Xbox controller. It somehow thought that the controller was too big of a drain on the power supply, so it kept cutting it off while I was using it. And it would do that about every 10 minutes, like it's doing with this. Fortunately, there's not much more I can unplug or turn off from the computer. Like, even OBS is fine, it's only about 60% usage. Which is about what it was before I started using this microphone. I did notice that looking back through the last spot that I didn't have issues with the, what do you call it, the actual game itself desyncing. So at least think I figured that out. The Dunsparce spawned and almost made it look like the Dunsparce itself evolved. I would like to take a second to shill the supercut I did of the Team Star route. It's not like super impressive or anything, but it's a cut of all of the Team Star interactions from my streams. From when Cassiopeia first calls you to the closing scene where the Starfall Street completed plays. Yeah, listening to my own voice on delay is really throwing me off. I had intended for that video to go up on Thursday. I severely underestimated the amount of time it was going to take. I had allotted about an hour and a half, 2 hours for it to upload to YouTube, but I hadn't considered how long it was going to take to transcribe to like a video file or something, which itself took about 2 or 3 hours. Even longer when it corrupts multiple times. Still not sure why it did that. It ended up working eventually. I didn't change anything with it. I took it apart and put it back together and it just started working. In fact, at one point when I was taking it apart, I was uploading the clips individually, and I found the one that I think was ruining the overall upload because it failed 2 times on its own. And all the ones past it and before it were fine. And so when I finished the last one, I went back to it again, and it just worked randomly. It didn't do anything to it, didn't change the length, didn't recut it. It just started working. And after that one clip started working, the entire 2-hour-long thing started working, so I have no idea what was wrong with it, but it fixed itself. And those are like the worst kind of errors to run into because I have no idea what went wrong. And I don't even think anything I did fixed it, I just think it just randomly sorted itself out. So it's hard to really take a lesson from that, other than to give myself more time to do that. So next time I won't try to all throw it together in an afternoon. I'll give it a couple of days. Because I do still want to do super cuts of the gym challenge and the Titans. I won't do a cut of Away Home because that was entirely contained within one stream. I forgot how thick Rhino was. Oh wow, there's still 15-ish minutes left. Still plenty of time to find Shinies. think it should probably be getting to be about time that we see another shiny. So we're about halfway through January. I would expect news about potential DLC to either happen like within the next week or Pokemon Day. So I think around the 22nd was when the was it the Isle of Armor and Grand Tundra were announced. It might have just been because it was a COVID year, but I think that'll probably be what the release schedule looks like going forward. At least as far as DLC is concerned. I suppose it's possible they might stretch the DLC cycles out longer. My timeline is so screwed up. I don't remember if the Sword and Shield DLC was the summer after it released or like a year and a summer. I want to say it was a year and a summer. Because Sword and Shield itself is about 3 years the lifespan total, which is about the typical length, but usually it's like 1 year game, then either a gap year and a remake, and then game 3. I think it was just 3 years of Sword and Shield. And then, like, the remakes and RPs. They also seem to be moving through VGC formats fairly quickly, which makes me think the DLC should probably be coming soon. VGC itself is usually a fairly good indicator for like their overall plans. I'm kind of surprised that they've allowed Paradox Pokemon so early. And the only reason I see them doing that is if DLC is coming out in summer. Because otherwise, I think you would see the Paradox being allowed after home transfers. Speaking of home transfers, I think should probably be. I believe that the Home transfers should happen soon. I think it was, what, spring 2023? So I'd say March, April-ish. So again, probably news around Pokemon Day. She just had a massive lag spike, but I don't think the lag increased. Not sure what happened there. Because the microphone doesn't sound any later than it did before that lag spike. If anything, it sounds like it might be more in sync than it was. Okay, so it looks like we'll be leaving with 2 shiny Pokemon. So like, what, 2 minutes left? That's 3.5. Yeah, I also picked up Fire Emblem Echoes again recently. I only really have the post-game dungeon left to do. I was actually playing it before stream started, and learned the hard way that you can't turn wheel a main character death like you can in 3 Houses. So kind of watch those random enemy crits. I know some people probably don't like the turn wheel or the divine pulse kind of features, but I think they're nice features. I'm the kind of person who likes to play on higher difficulties, but I also don't like to lose units. So if I lose units in a fight, I just start the fight over. And that's like, I know saves coming, but I find it more fun to try to clear it without people dying than I do to just kind of let it play out. And the Divine Pulse and the turn wheel just make that easier, so I don't have to restart the entire battle. Or at the very least, if I do have to restart the entire battle, I don't have to turn the game off and on. I just all of a sudden hear that waterfall. It's like the 100th time I've walked past it. I don't think it's played that sound once. Oh, dang, a meow with that bird would actually be kind of interesting. There's only 30 minutes left of the day. Okay, so we got 22 and 23 here. Oh, I didn't mean to go to the box. That's cool. Like, why is it not letting me change moves? Just in case you were wondering if I wasn't tired or something. Fumble around the controls. Okay, so this is 22. That one's 2 segments. And it's number 23. It's also 2 segments. Almost a quarter of the way to full odds. I wonder if we'll get there in this stream. I mean, it's only 2 more Dunstorps, but given my luck the last couple of streams. I guess the last one in particular. You could still pull a 0 or a 1 out of this sandwich. This is the only sandwich that I have committed to memory. And I screwed it up immediately. This sandwich is not gonna make it. At least pepper is not heavy. Bad feeling stuff is gonna start falling over. My controller is drifting all over the place today. Some days it's worse than others, and this is one of those days. I'm surprised that it didn't fall apart. Like that second block of tofu is really hanging on there. I will say, I hope in DLC we can get out of these school uniforms. I'm not sure whose idea it was to tie everybody to one of 4 outfits. I would rather that if they were going to do that, they would just remove customization altogether. Like, explicit, or not explicit, but, interesting, unique character designs. And this is honestly, I think, the first generation in a while where I think the character designs are kind of lacking. I think the only standout designs I can think of are the Team Star Leaders and maybe everyone else just kind of feels like generic JRPG. Or not even JRPG, but just like RPG in general. Like, you could take most of the teachers and put them in another game, and I don't think they would look out of place. Same thing with the Elite Four. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, this is the first generation with a new art director. I know James Turner did Sword and Shield. Well, I think the character is probably different from Pokemon. Like, the Pokemon designs themselves, I think, are fine for next gen. And it's not to say that the character designs are bad. Like, I don't think they're bad. I just think they're generic. Like, Lavella's Clive was probably one of the more interesting designs. Even Nimona, as far as rival designs goes, is not very distinct. I think that's kind of a problem they designed themselves into by forcing everyone into a school. I think that's probably why the Team Star characters stand out so much, is because they're the only ones not stuck in a school uniform. trying to think of gym leaders, and I think Vermishid, the ice gym leader, is the only one that's a real standout. Him and Rhyme. It's both because they look like other characters. Like Richard looks shockingly close to Atticus. And Rhyme is a twin, so that makes sense. Iono is a nice design, probably the best character design. Most, I think, Pokemon design. Like, Larry as a character is fine, but he's basically just a slightly stylized office worker class from Black and White. The bug-type gym leader, I don't remember her having any real standout features. Gracias at least had the whip, or the garden hose. I think it was kind of a mixture of both of those. The water guy was interesting, but I feel like his design was kind of too similar to Crusher Wave. Who else were there as gym leaders? And the psychic type gym leader just feels like she should be a standard BD class. The design doesn't really scream gym leader. And again, like, I don't think any of them are bad, but I just think it's like lacking as far as Pokemon designs go. Okay, we're 10 minutes in. Let's start seeing some shinies. I kind of feel like there's not a lot of stuff spawning. Oh, almost didn't see that. Yeah, I just zoned out so hard I didn't register. I just kind of stared at it. Just did not fully walk past it. Well, that was number 24. Hopefully we can get 25 during the sandwich. You know, I've thought about the map in this game a bit, and I think the northeast corner is hashed out because it's going to be DLC at some point. But it makes me wonder why Area Zero stays hashed out, even after you go there. I'm wondering if maybe in a future DLC they're going to change Area Zero. Like whatever at the bottom wakes up and it kind of terraforms the area. So it ends up looking different than it does now. I think that would kind of justify hiding the area on the map. Because otherwise I don't just see why they can't show it. Okay, about 11 minutes. Let's hope we get lucky. No, it's blue. I forgot one of them shiny. Yeah, losing my marbles only an hour in is not a good sign. So for a reason, this is going to be a shorter stream. I was not watching where I was going there. It was just kind of autopiloting. Which is also not a good thing, because I might miss a shiny if I'm doing that. Okay, 7.5 minutes. Did it again. I've also considered like starting up a new single-player block game world, and maybe trying that on stream. Because I'll be honest, I don't know if I've ever actually beaten Minecraft. I usually get like hyper distracted by something, and end up digging caves for like 300 years. because I physically cannot stop myself from straight mining like 7 chunks worth of stuff. Beginning to think we're not going to get number 25 out of this. I don't want to do another sandwich just to hit 25. Because there's no guarantee that you will. I would think if I did find more shinies this one, I don't remember if the side up was between last stream and this. I don't remember if the trip now were between last stream and this. Might have been. There's Dreadnought plural. I think it's the first time I've found more than one shiny in an upgrade. Kind of wish I'd been filming it. Oopsies. Readjusting my glasses and I walked right into it. Speaking of readjusting my glasses, total non sequitur. I wonder if we're ever gonna get like the Soul Eater Brotherhood. I don't know why that just came into my head. I also wonder if they're gonna finish Fire Force. Something that I need to go back and read the entirety of. I somehow ended up reading the end of it and watching the anime, but I have no idea what happened in between the end of the anime and like the end of the manga. Yeah, 2 minutes left. I don't think we're finding another one. guess we're ending at 24 for the night. Unless we get lucky like the last minute here. Okay. I don't know what the jump clearance is. Because sometimes you go right over, sometimes it sucks you into the battle. Oh, okay. So let's evolve number 24 here. And we'll call it quits for the night. Surprised, I might be jinxing it. I think it's been about 40 minutes since the microphone lagged. It's weird though, last time it lagged it feels like it resynced. At least partially. Okay, here we go. Number 24. What are you going to evolve into? And it's another 2-segment. Well, like I said, I think I would have been surprised if it was in the first 50. I don't think we're gonna get that lucky. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop there for tonight. I'll stream again on Tuesday. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna stream. I'll go ahead and put up a reservation now. I'll probably change it when it gets closer. Um, Thank you all for stopping by tonight. I'll see you on Tuesday. I hope you all have a nice weekend, or a nice week, and a nice rest of your day.